are y'all affording to live out here? Like, genuinely, how do you afford it? My husband and I just got married, so we're in the process of like switching everything over and getting our own stuff. And we literally can't afford it, like simply. We just got a quote for our car insurance and it's $220 a month for the cheapest thing that we could find, on top of our student loans, our rent, our groceries, our electricity, you know, all the other bills. The next thing that we have to do is get new phone bills because, you know, we're married and we got to get off our parents. We might be getting flip phones. Like, I literally don't. How are we going to afford it? We can't afford it. We cannot afford all this stuff. Like, we both have full-time jobs. We can't. How are y'all affording to live? We're trying to find side hustles. We have Instacart and DoorDash. Like, I don't know what else to do. I can't get a second full-time job. Like, I don't have time for that. I'm very overwhelmed. Adulting sucks. Adulting is a scam. You work until you die. You still can't afford to live. Somebody needs to come up with a better system.
It's a shame that I have to consider getting a second job just to make ends meet, and that's not how it's supposed to be. Your main job is supposed to suffice for taking care of yourself. And even in my main job, I'm making over $20 an hour, but I'm still barely making ends meet. So I have to consider getting a second job just to make ends meet, and that's not how life is supposed to be. I really despise people that voted for Trump. And really, prices were still expensive under Biden, but they had a plan. But Trump, I didn't vote for him, but he's doing everything but lower prices, right? Like, he's not doing anything to really help the economy in a way for us that are suffering to make ends meet. He's not helping in that way. The only thing he's doing is making things worse. And life is not supposed to be like that. You're supposed to be able to make ends meet, but in this economy, it's almost impossible without a second job or a second income, and that sucks.
What's up, YouTube? It's your brother Yate back at it again with another video. This one right here is about how people cannot afford to live. 2025, the cost of living way too high. It's like you can't even afford nothing. People can't afford basic needs, necessities. They can't afford their everyday normal items that they need to get by. The basics. We're not talking about luxury items. We're not talking about wants even. We're just talking about needs. People cannot afford their needs. Listen, you already know what to do. And if you're brand new too, thumbs up this video so YouTube can push this content out. This is going to be a quick one. We're going to let the people rant. You know me, I'm going to commentate in between. Y'all drop a comment below at any time, letting me know what y'all think about this video or the topic that's at hand. All right, let's get into it.
Serious question, how are people affording anything in 2025? I'm having surgery in 2 weeks on my neck, so I was told to get certain types of shirts so it wouldn't bother the area. I go to Goodwill. I'm looking at prices, $9.99 for used shirts that are of no brand of value at all anywhere. Like, maybe it was Target, I don't even know. I probably could go to Target and get it for like brand new for the same price at this point. I don't know. But seriously, how is it that I have just gotten priced out of a thrift store? Not only that, I cannot remember the last time I actually went out and had a meal in a restaurant. We do not order out. We don't even get pizza because we're trying to save everything for 2025 with all of my health stuff. I am so sick of my own fucking cooking. You have no idea. I'm a bad cook. And I am so freaking tired of my own food. But how do people afford to go to a restaurant, sit down, and have a meal? Like, that is a foreign concept to me at this point. And I can't remember the last time I went and saw a movie in a theater. I can't even afford to rent them on demand. I will show you what I do. This is what I do. I have an enormous DVD collection. And this is all I can afford, because I will get these at the thrift stores. Cheap as shit. To be honest with you, I feel like I'm 20 years old again and I'm living pennies to pennies and can't afford dick anymore. How are people doing this?
So I have come to the conclusion in my life that I'm just gonna get a fucking Airstream or an RV and just live my life in that shit, because I used to want to like save up and get a house, but like fuck that shit. Rent is so unaffordable. I can barely afford my rent in my apartment. And rent is not going to get no cheaper because all these landlords is going up on their rent just because they can. Even the apartment complexes. So if you thinking you saving some money, I'm just not gonna be living with no roommate for the rest of my life. I don't have a roommate right now, but I mean, I don't see no other way to maintain like living, just fucking living. Food prices then went up, gas prices then went up, life then went up. And in some states you can't even, you have so many side bills. Like bills used to just be your rent, your light, your gas, maybe if it's not included. Water used to come with your fucking apartment. Heat used to come with the apartment. Now all of those things are separate. And also you got, you know, if you work from home, you got to pay for internet. Then you got to pay for your food. You know, motherfuckers ain't getting no food stamps if they single and working. So you got to pay for food. You got to pay for your health insurance. You might want to get some life insurance. It's just like so many bills, G. Like, I just don't even see how it's possible at this point that that we still, and then we got taxes. Like, who the fuck is paying that shit at this point? Like, and them student loan companies better not even contact me. I don't give a fuck. Like, at this point, I don't care if it's the IRS or the goddamn student loan people. They all the same folks to me. But I don't see how I don't even, you know what? I made a decision to buy a fucking Coachella ticket. I'm selling that motherfucker. I can't even afford to go to that shit, but I bought the ticket. Like, how are we even able to have any type of joy in life at this point? I'm over it. I'm gonna live my life inside of a fucking RV or an Airstream or a tiny house on wheels or something, because this ain't it, bro. Like, give me what, 2 cats and a dog or something? No kids. Like, can't afford it. Even if I decided I wanted to.
This right here is the problem. Not many people are living a life that they designed. Everybody like sheep being led to the slaughterhouse. Everybody is falling in line, one after the other. It really started in elementary. They gave us those books. I don't know how they did it at your school, but they gave us these books, and it was like, what career do you want to have? Me, Hooper, I thought I was going to the NBA, like most of us. Then I said I wanted to be a rapper, right? Or entertainer. That's what I'm doing right now, entertaining. I never really just wanted to follow a traditional route because I saw that it wasn't even working for my parents. And I saw that I got 5 uncles and it didn't work for them either. They had big goals and dreams, but they didn't follow those goals and dreams. Therefore, they're all miserable. They're not happy with their lives. Not from what I see. And I seen it back then. I'm like, I got a lot of uncles, but none of them are living their dream lifestyle. I just see football helmets on counters and stuff like that in pictures, but it's like nobody took it serious. I see people wanting to do music, but nobody took it to that next level. You know what I mean? So I just don't really vouch for following the norm because you're not able to make enough. A job keeps you just over broke, and now look, people lost themselves. People don't even know who they are no more, what they want out of life no more. It's because they followed the system. This isn't everybody. There are people that are living an abundant lifestyle. There are people that aren't living a mediocre lifestyle. These are the people that didn't follow the blueprint that was outlined for us. These are the people that stepped out on faith. These are the people that went against the grain. These are the people that went through all the ups and downs that it took in order to be considered successful. And you have your own definition of successful. But mine is being free, financially free, able to do what you want, when you want, with whomever you want to. You can spend money without checking your bank account and being like, man, did I spend too much? That's freedom. And how can you get that? Through a high in-demand skill, through betting on yourself. I'm going to say the same thing on every video because it's the same blueprint, man. It's not 1,000 ways to make money. There are a few ways that work, and you follow the money. If you see it working for somebody else, it can work for you. There are people that are dumber than you, making more money than you. There are people that are dumber than you and me, living a more satisfying lifestyle. We got to make a change. It start with you. It start with me. It's ultimately up to us. We can start generational wealth. It can start with us. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result is what? Y'all heard me say this before. Insanity. So why do we think we can keep following the traditional 9 to 5 that we see not working for anybody else, and we think it's gonna have a different outcome for us? Nah.
So I'm 24, but I'm like at the weird age where people are like living at home, figuring out their careers, going to school, getting married, having kids, buying houses, running marathons. But like on the spectrum of things, I think I'm on the running marathons part.
I work at a hospital where they do performance reviews, and normally based on your performance review, you get a raise, right? Well, this year they took that away and they're just like, we're just gonna give you all a raise. 22 cents. Okay. Thanks for the 22 cents. It's fine, I guess. We also get 0 bonuses. No bonuses. We don't even get a Christmas party, bro. They're just like, I know we make all this money, but we can't even afford a pizza party for you. But also, like, I'm supposed to be bringing home like over $1,000 each paycheck, but I get garnished for medical bills from the hospital. So I take home like $700 and they take $400 more.
You guys, I can't afford it. I can't afford life. I just can't. It's so hard. It's so expensive. It's so darn expensive to live nowadays. I just can't do it. I don't know how everybody else is doing it. I don't know what kind of money you're making. Where are you guys working? That is normal people. I'm talking about normal people. I'm talking about not influencers, not these crazy high corporate jobs, normal jobs. What are you guys doing? Because apparently I'm doing something wrong. I can't afford life with my job. I can't afford it. And I can't leave either. So that's that.
I've come to terms with the fact that at this point in my life, I cannot afford friends. I cannot afford brunch every single weekend. I cannot afford concerts every month. I cannot afford 10 birthdays in June. I cannot afford trips to God knows where. I cannot afford it. I can't even imagine being a bridesmaid or being in a wedding right now. That would set me back financially to a point of no return. And it's so funny because sometimes I see these large friend groups and part of me is like, wow, like that is so cool and that must be really nice. And then reality sets back in and makes me realize like you cannot afford that. And I've seen some people talk about this before, but not enough of how much of a luxury friendship is. It costs a lot of money to maintain and to create new friendships. And I'm in a place where I'm just surviving. The economy is what it is. I don't even know how people are going out. I mean, if I go out one weekend, I have to live like a monk the following weekend. So I really do need to pick my battles wisely these days. And having a lot of friends just is very expensive. And then on top of that, I'm expected to date.
This is the problem. And this is why I say it starts with us. We have to pass down something from generation to generation. Generational wealth can start with us. We had nothing passed down to us for the most part. So now we're out here working for other people that either did have something passed down to them or they followed their dreams. Follow your dreams so you don't end up working for somebody who followed theirs. That was the realest statement I ever heard. Don't let that go over your head. Okay, well, YT, you got to start from somewhere. True. That's true. But there's something called OPM, other people's money. There's something called credit. So instead of working hard, straining your body, you should be working your mind. Learn how to put trade lines and AUs onto your credit report, as well as getting primary accounts in your name. Let them season for 6 months. Then you go ahead and apply and get funding to invest into whatever it is you want to do. Your life could change in 6 months. But the main problem is, back in the day, we did work that aligned with our lineage. Now we're just out here doing work for anybody. We're not doing work that we were designed to do, that our bodies were built to do, that we're naturally good at, that naturally pushes mankind forward. Nowadays, we're just out here working. That's why people aren't happy. They don't even like the job that they do. They're just doing it because they need money. If they didn't need money, they wouldn't even be at that job. They wouldn't even be cool with the coworkers. They don't even like their coworkers. It's like you're in a toxic environment in a place that you hate. How could you be happy? This is the same thing as a toxic household. You cannot be healed in an environment that broke you. A lot of people are being broke from their jobs. And I'm not talking about financially. I'm saying spiritually, mentally, being overworked and underpaid. That'll take a toll on you, right? A lot of people like zombies. They just numb to life. Don't know how to feel. Listen, man, it's your brother YT. If you feel like this, drop a comment below. And I want to see some solutions. Is there anybody in the comments that escaped the rat race? I'm going to give y'all some book suggestions too. The 4-Hour Work Week. Think and Grow Rich. 48 Laws of Power. The cliche ones are like The Richest Man in Babylon and Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Those are a few books you can read to change your mind, to open your mind, to expand your mind to new concepts. But yeah, man, drop a comment below. It's your brother YT. Appreciate y'all for watching, man. Peace and shalom.